Hello listeners and welcome to another episode of BKFK Storytime. Before we get on with the show, we'd like to express our thanks to a wonderful listener named Tyler. Tyler, you sent us so many fantastic suggestions for future stories and we'll be sure to use them soon. Alright, before we get on with the story, let's see who the superstars are for this episode.
I'm Omar Yusuf and I'm 9.5. I live in Houston, Texas, and I really like sports and video games.
Hi, my name is Leo. I'm 5 years old. I live in Canada. My favorite thing is listening to Baggage for Kids, and I love playing soccer and watching my sister do her classes of gymnastics.
Hi, my name's Ilya. I'm 5 years old and I'm from Korea and I like chocolate.
My name is Nuna. I'm 5 years old. I'm from Houston and I like to go to school.
Well done guys, fantastic job. Okay Ruby, let's get on with the story.
Tiidu the Piper. Tiidu was a young man who lived in a small village on the edge of a dense forest. He was a smallish, thin man with a friendly face and sparkling eyes. He was known throughout the village for his beautiful music and his kind heart. Whenever Tiidu played his flute, the villagers would gather around him, enchanted by the melodies that flowed from his instrument. Tiidu liked playing his flute in the forest more than anything. He would often wander deep into the woods playing for the animals that lived there. The birds would sing along with his tunes, and the rabbits would dance to the beat. Even the wolves and bears would come to listen, enchanted by the beauty of his music. When he played lively and exciting music, the animals were at peace with each other and would dance and play with each other. When he played calmer music, the animals would curl up around Tiidu and fall asleep to the soothing sounds. One day, Tiidu came across a group of hunters who were setting traps in the forest. Tiidu knew that the traps would harm the animals that he loved so much, and he pleaded with the hunters to stop.
Please, don't harm those innocent creatures.
Tiidu said.
They've done nothing to deserve this.
The hunters laughed at him and continued with their work. They set up dangerous bear traps that would snap around the feet of the poor animals. They made snares that would catch the creatures with a rope. They placed nets in the trees to drop on animals as they passed. And they made deep pits covered with branches that the animals would fall into.
I need to act quickly,
said Tiidu.
I must save the animals.
He began to play his flute. The melody was so beautiful that the animals came running to him from all over the forest. They danced and pranced around Tiidu, enjoying the freedom of the forest and the beautiful music that filled their ears. As Tiidu played, he led the animals deep into the forest, away from the hunters' traps. He played for hours, and the animals never left his side, following him wherever he went. Eventually, once they were far enough, Tiidu stopped playing, and the animals went back about their business. Tiidu sat down next to a tree with a little fox sleeping in his lap. A blackbird sat on a branch above them and sang its beautiful song. Tiidu gently scratched the fox behind its ears until Tiidu also fell asleep. Soon, the hunters realized that something was wrong.
Where are the animals?
Wondered the leader, a huge man with a big bushy beard. The forest was completely quiet. One of the hunters looked at the ground.
I see footsteps.
He cried.
And footprints.
Said another.
And claw marks. And hoof prints. Big and small.
It's that wretched Tiidu.
Cried the leader.
That good-for-nothing has ruined our plans. He's led all the animals away from our traps.
Let's find him.
Said another hunter.
Oh, yes.
Muttered the leader with an evil grin.
We'll teach him a lesson. He will never forget.
The hunters began to follow the tracks. They could tell which way the animals had gone by looking at paw prints, hoof prints, broken branches, and even the poo the animals left behind them. Soon they heard a noise.
Shh,
said the leader.
Everybody be quiet.
The group of hunters crept a little closer.
I hear snoring. He must be asleep.
The leader gave an evil chuckle as they came to the tree where Tiidu was sleeping. They came closer and closer until they were surrounding Tiidu. Quickly, the leader grabbed Tiidu by his skinny arm and yanked him up.
Got you!
He shouted. Tiidu's eyes shot open. He knew at once what was happening. He reached for his flute, but one of the other hunters had grabbed it and hurled it as far away as he could into the bushes.
You pesky little runt!
Shouted the leader as he bent Tiidu's arm painfully.
It's time for our revenge. It's time for... Ow!
The leader's face twisted in pain. Something had bitten his arm. It was the fox. The fox bit harder.
Ow, 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 ow!
Cried the leader. He dropped Tiidu to the ground. Tiidu looked around in panic as the other hunters closed in around him. Just then he heard a fluttering sound above his head. It was the blackbird. It had picked up the flute in its claws and now it swooped over Tiidu's head and dropped it. Tiidu caught it and at once began to play. There was a thundering sound. The trees began to tremble and the leaves began to shake. The hunters looked about in alarm. Suddenly, a stampede of angry animals burst into the clearing. There were bears slashing with their claws, wolves baring their teeth, stags swishing about their antlers, skunks spraying their stinky spray, angry rabbits, badgers, otters, squirrels, wild boars, mice, hedgehogs, crows, sparrows, storks, and all the other forest animals furiously charging at the hunters. The leader let out a high-pitched scream and shouted,
Run!
The hunters got out of there as fast as they could. They escaped with their lives, but they were so terrified and bruised and scratched that they never dared to return to the forest again. The animals returned and gathered around Tiidu. They nuzzled him and licked him as he patted them and scratched their fur. Soon they settled down and looked at him. It was as if they were waiting for something.
I know what you all want.
Laughed Tiidu. He picked up his flute, held it to his lips, and began to play. The animals roared with delight and danced about, celebrating their victory over the hunters. From that day on, Tiidu became known as the protector of the animals in the forest. Whenever he played his flute, they would come running to him, knowing that they were safe when he was there.
Hey guys, if you like this episode, please share it with your friends and family. It is one of the best ways to support BKFK Storytime.